Get ready for some cool talk. Presented by Brown's Heating, Air, and Plumbing. With your host, Brandon Brown.
What up? Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Cool Talk with Brown's Heating, Air, and Plumbing here in Bedford, Virginia. Beautiful day here. Another winter in the morning, spring by afternoon, summer,
fall, summer,
evening. Spring. Yeah, it's just fall, summer number 2, winter number 6, and then spring number 3, all in one day. It's so crazy, but I cannot believe it's almost May. This is this is awesome week for us. It's actually like is me and Dara's anniversary week.
Aw,
we call it. Yeah, thank you. Actually, we were this week 17 years ago we started dating.
Yeah.
And then this Sunday the 30th will be our 12th wedding anniversary.
What, man?
Crazy.
Good Lord.
I cannot believe it's been that long. So and I get asked all the time, and I didn't even think it was a hard question, but people ask all the time, how do you work with your wife? Because, you know, as you know, my wife is the vice president of the company, and she's been with me full time now she's always helped me when I started.
Yeah.
She actually came in on full time every day about 6 years ago, vice president, and because I coach and talk to companies all over and even people local. They're like, I got to ask you, how do y'all work together? And I just never thought of it. It's never really been a hard question to me because it worked so well. But I could see how that can be an issue with people that run their small businesses in their couples.
Mm-hmm.
But I just say, it's really easy. I let her do what she's good at. I don't get involved. And she lets me do what I'm good at, and she doesn't get involved unless we need each other's help. And that's just the bottom. I mean, that's how it's got to work, because her strengths are my weaknesses. And then once you realize that, and you got to realize that in the business, you can't just be all gung-ho and try to know it all, and realize the strengths of your wife or your vice president, whoever it is. May not be your wife, your GM that you hire. You've got to realize their strengths and let them do it.
Yeah.
She's really good with budgets and bookkeeping and did our, Facebook and marketing for a while. And now she works with Woody on that. And they have, it's just so easy because the ideas are just so easy to put to life. And I've never been good at math. I hated math. I hate spreadsheets, but I can say I need a spreadsheet for this, and she can create it in no time. I'm like, so it's just been very, very easy for us. And we love it because, even though we're married, but we still work together every day, and it's fun. So I think, one of the lucky fews, you can also work with your spouse and enjoy it. It gives you extra time together. And you understand that too, Woody, because you and Laura do that. I know she has her own business, but you help her on the craft shows and all, and it's never really it's not like it's a job. No. It's not a hassle or anything.
No. It's and especially with your spouse, or if they're really into something, like you want to support them, you want to see them thrive in what they like to do. So.
Yeah, and and heating and air is you get to thinking about heating, air, electrical, and all the services. Well, that's a man's world, blah blah blah. But it's not in the office side. You've got to have very smart, strong-willed women to help run it so it's run smooth and they keep you on your toes. And I'm blessed that, she can do that. And we worked well together. Like when people ask me all the time, it's like, I had a guy the other day, he is in the heating and air, and him and his wife, they haven't been there long. He's like, I really got to ask you, how's it work with you and your wife? How do y'all get not, fighting every day, and things. Yep. And I just told him, I said, look, let her do what she's good at. Don't get in the way. She'll come to you when she needs you. You got to trust her and let her do. And I'm blessed that Dara and I have been able to work together this long, and also been, married and stay together this long, because it seems like it doesn't last. It's more and more, that couples don't last as long anymore.
No.
So we're lucky and blessed to two great kids and also a business life. So if you're out there and you're working in your young business and you work with your spouse, y'all find out what your strengths are, your weaknesses, and let the other do what you're weak at, and you'll work fine together. Just got to have the trust in it, and try not to have the conflict of or the attitude. You can't have the attitude of, I know it all, this is my business, I'm gonna do what I want, and not respect their response, because it will not last long in that attitude. So but yeah, I get that a lot, but we're blessed for that. So that's anniversary week. So happy anniversary, Dara, if you listen to this. I think she listens to my podcast. I don't know if she ever has time to listen, but
she's busy. She's
running the business now while I'm here. So,
yep.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, they're like, I hear them, the employees like, don't make Brandon mad. You don't want to make the boss mad. I'm like, no, you don't worry about me.
Yeah.
Don't make her mad.
Yep.
Because she's gonna put you in, this is what it needs to be, and make a decision, where I'm kind of always been the real nice. She's nice, but I've always been too nice. Like, scared to really make a decision, scared to confront people. And she's helped me. Like, no, you got to be firm. You got to, you can do it in a respectful, nice way. And she does that and helps me with that. But it's awesome because everybody at work loves working for us. That's what we're blessed with. That we have employees that love working for us. We appreciate and show their appreciation all the time. And that's one thing I found out in Conquer. I've been coaching here for several weeks now, and we got several businesses in my group, heating and air. I've got a plumber, a painter, a sprinkler guy, and they're all over the country. It's Mississippi, Texas, Maryland, and South Carolina. Nice. That's where they're from. Nice. So, and I'm learning, and it's very cool to see, and it's very comforting because I'm learning that every company across the nation that we work with, all of them have the same issues we have here. We're not the only ones that have the same issues. We're not the only ones in this area that have hiring problems. We're not the only ones dealing with the inflation, the economy, the trying to build a business the right way. So when not only am I coaching them, they're coaching me. I'm learning as well because I'm seeing that this is a common problem across all. And I talk to other coaches that have people everywhere. This is a common problem all over the nation.
Yep.
And it's getting more and more important now that when you're trying to find, we always call it in Conquerors, we call it finding rock star employees is what you want to find. And I ask people, they come in our trainings and stuff all the time, like, we just can't find the employees. And so I kind of bring up, you also have the good employees are not going to just fall in your lap. They're not going to just show up off the road unless you have a foundation in the history and the profile of your company that attracts them. You've got to attract the good employees. So I always, ask them, stop and think. If you were in your town, and if you're listening now, think about this, and you're trying to find employees. If you're in your town, you're driving down the road, you're the best electrician, heating and air, plumber, painter, whatever you are in the area, and you're moving to this town and you're looking for a job, would you apply for your business? Your business right now, would you apply? Would you automatically think, driving down the road and you're thinking about, where should I apply? Does your business come up first in your mind? If a competitor's name comes up in your mind first, like, I think I'd work there, then you need to ask yourself, why?
Yeah.
What do they have that I don't? Is it benefits? Is it a nice work vans? Is it a business? Because a lot of people still work out of their home and their small office, and statistics show if you go to work for someone that still works out of their home, your lower rate of hiring, because people don't trust home-based businesses because they're not established.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I know working at home saves a lot of money, and you're working out of a garage. I understand all that, but just think, as you want to grow and you want to hire these employees that are going to be rock star employees, not just halfway, just the best of the best, you got to have a foundation in a building that they're proud to come to. So if you're thinking of this and you say, would you apply to work for your company? And if you had to think about it for a second, or somebody else come to mind, then you really need to stop and write down why. What's the differences between you and that competitor?
Yeah.
I try to compare it to, I love sports, so I compare it a lot of time to sports. Think about it on this hand. Let's say you're a senior in high school, you're the best quarterback in the nation, number one ranked on across all the boards, and your goal is to get to the NFL. What college comes to mind automatically that college or colleges, a few that you would join? Everybody, you have your pick. You're the best quarterback. You go to any college in the world. Are you going to just go to some little small town community college and be quarterback? Or are you going to go somewhere like Alabama, Florida, Texas, these colleges that have proven to bring on these top quarterbacks and get them to the NFL? That's the same way you got to look at your business, is how can you take this person that really wants a career in that profession and get them to be a supervisor, a leader in your company, a GM. You've got to have your foundation set so that you can attract these rock star employees automatically. And once you build that, it'll automatically attract them. And then you'll be driving down the road and you'll be looking and saying, we are the best company around to work for. We are, because like I said, hiring experience right now in the trades is, when I started, I could about even 5 years ago, we could have put out a job posting. We'd have 10, 15 applicants within a week. Yeah. We're looking for an installed helper right now and have had zero experience. And it's not that there's none out there. It's just the ones that are there now we're starting to realize that it's a dying breed, so they're paying top dollar to keep you. If you think you're going to leave and you're a good employee, they're going to add, they're going to make sure you don't leave. So it's getting harder to find the employees. So if you're a small business now, and I know you're having trouble hiring, these are the things you need to be thinking about. So when someone comes available, you have the benefits. Think outside the box. We offer. One benefit we offer that other companies don't is we give you your birthday off paid. Your birthday doesn't go against your vacation, doesn't go against sick time, nothing. We pay you to stay home on your birthday and celebrate. Whatever, when it comes up every year, your birthday, you're going to be off. If your birthday falls on a Saturday or Sunday, then you're off Friday or Monday. You pick, get a 3-day weekend. And that's a benefit that we've added because others have not, just to attract. And we have people call like, man, I really come over because of birthday benefit. I mean, small stuff like that will attract, the employees. So think outside the box, and it's getting harder. And like I said, I've got conquerors that are in my group that are just, and I feel bad for them because some of them are only 2 or 3 employees and they need 3 or 4, and there is no luck. But they're also smaller and beginning, and they're in markets that are overwhelmed with companies that can offer health insurance and all that. So I'm trying to help them build a foundation, advertise it with extra things, trying to build it and attract employees so that they can get the work done. And it's just nationwide issue I've never experienced before. And I don't know how is it with like marketing? Woody, is it a dying breed and stuff too with people that market in video and things? Or
I think it evolves. Like I've seen over the last, 8-9 years since I've been doing it. You see the trends, you see social media, you see people get hyped on videos for a while. You see people get hyped on like TikTok for a while.
Yeah.
And with that, so does the I'll say talent, or so does the pool that but the fundamentals stay the same.
Yeah.
And that's what you do have to be careful of, in at least marketing, is that you don't all of a sudden start bandwagoning onto a trend that will only be there for 6 months, and then you've done this whole marketing thing and you've spent countless man hours and messaging and money, and it's a trend that doesn't actually pay off for the business.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like you said, you kind of have to keep your core values and your core ideas top of mind, because especially in the marketing world, again, everything is just like, oh, get the views, about the views, and it's really not about the views.
Right.
It's like, that's good, but really, are they calling? Is your messaging clear? Yeah. Or is your customer experience good? Because that stuff will outlast any TikTok video you post tenfold. Yeah. So
and that's one big mistake I see a lot of people make all over the country is they pay big bucks for people outside and it can be outside. You know, I'm not saying don't trust them, but they pay big bucks for marketing that the people they're hiring are just in it for their big, you know, to pay them. They're not in it to really market you and get you the leads. Yeah. It's a lot of scams out there. It's a lot of false advertising. And I know like some people say, well, put all your money in just Google. And you don't recommend that, do you? Would you recommend like you need to do several avenues, right?
Honestly, each business, I mean, you've got your core things that may translate to each business, but each business that, especially that I have a hand in, right, for marketing, is they have a different method. Like what works for this one will not work for another one. And we see that all the time with like, especially TV ads, radio ads. Like you can go buy a lot for one company and it will be beneficial, but another company, it doesn't translate to business. Right. So each one is a customized approach. And that's why it's like you said, you do have to be careful because there are a lot of companies out there, they go down the list like, oh yeah, Google ads and this and that and this. And then add on top of that this area is a very unique thing. It's a very unique marketing bubble. What applies for most companies just does not work here.
Yeah, you got to be open-minded to switch if it's not working.
Yeah, you've got to be creative because you know for yourself how many heating and air companies are in the area.
Yeah,
and
lots of them.
You look at all of the marketing for theirs. Each one of them is a little different. Some of them go crazy. Some, you know, but you know, as a consumer, you kind of know what your customers want, what they respond to, and it's the fundamentals.
Yes,
it's the good customer service, good word of mouth. Those are top no matter what. Now, it does not hurt to have a marketing firm that will be creative, that will, you know, enhance your website presence so that, you know, when customers come there, it's a good experience. And so, yeah, it's funny because like you sit down and like somebody, like I get questioned all the time, like, well, I want to market, how much of marketing and what can we do? And really it's a unique approach. You have to, like, I think even I emailed you about something we're working on.
Yeah.
And I was like, my gut tells me this.
Yeah.
And so it's funny. I hate saying that to people in a business, but it's the truth. Like if you know marketing, you know trends, it's like, well, I may have felt this way a year ago,
it
but
changes.
It changes. It's like,
you got to always be ready to adapt, think outside the box, do something different than everybody else, not just come on and say, please buy this at $9.99, blah, 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 every single time and push sales down people's throats. You got to be the main purpose, like for TV and ads is, honestly, you're not going to, I don't think you're really not selling you're not going to sell something off the ad, but if the more they hear it and see you, when something does happen, like for us, if something happens with heating air, I remember that commercial. And that's called Browns.
I learned, it was years ago, I worked with a guy that had been in television for 20, 30 years, right? Yeah. Local broadcast. He was old school. Okay. And when I first started doing commercials, I was the type where we need a new one. We need a new thing. We need this, we need that, we need this, the national looking ad. We got to have a new stuff. And then he kept telling me, he's like, listen, people don't want to watch commercials.
Yeah.
We force people to watch it, right? We force commercials down people's throat. Like they can't skip it. Your message has got to be consistent and seen a lot before you start changing it up. So that's why it's like with marketing, you've really, and you probably know this, it took a couple of years of your business to really get a footing.
Yeah.
And people start seeing your messaging. And that's why it is important to have kind of that guide with you saying, well, listen, let's do this. Maybe let's go in this avenue. And I know I pitch all the time. Like I usually try the methods first.
Yeah.
Like for streaming. Like I wanted to try that. I try that, see the results, whatever. Then you take it to your client. Say, well, I'm getting results from this.
You got some proof.
Yeah. But you got to be consistent. But again, Brandon's right. You got to be careful because you'll spend thousands.
I've had people own businesses across the nation say they spend $20,000-$30,000 a month in marketing and get nothing back.
Yep. That's what you got to be.
And, have a laser and then you look at their marketing and it's just like everybody's doing that or something. I mean, you got to speak out. Like I don't watch much TV, but I mean I know that some of the sounds, like the jingles people put together, just so you remember, my kids are singing Burger King theme song all the time. BK.
Yeah, that's it.
And so we're driving down the road and like, hey, I want Burger King because they're singing the song. So we go to Burger King. So it's working.
It works.
And I don't even watch the TV, but I hear it. I heard the song, and then you hear your kids sing it over and over and over. And you're driving down Timberlake Road over here, and they're like, my son's like, hey, let's get a Whopper. And I'm like, because they're singing the theme song.
That's it. See, you get that clever hook. And you know, another thing that the fast food restaurants are really good at is consistency.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I know McDonald's for a while in like the 90s and early 2000s. Like, I mean, their commercials had a beat to it, you know, and like Ronald McDonald.
You knew it by, you could be with your eyes closed taking a nap and just hear it. You know what commercial it is.
Yep.
And I don't know what's going on. I've seen a lot of people start complaining about Google getting harder and harder.
Yeah.
And real stricter on ads and things, and people's not getting posted. So I don't know what's going on there. Do you know, or is it something with Google that's like? Because I've even heard phone companies are switching to Bing as their main search engine. Like Samsung is looking to switch to Bing. Yeah. So you may even have to start looking at other Bing, Yahoo, and things and advertising because they're going to start catching up, I think, to Google.
Well, and the thing with Google. And it's just like any other business, though, is like, you know, they claw to get to the top. And then once they get to the top, they can become the bad guy. You know, that's like any other business. Like, you know, they might not be the bad guy, but they're perceived as it. But that's because they have become the
they just becoming the
go-to.
Everybody's chasing them.
But they changed their analytics system recently. And they changed. I know for me, it's harder to run Google ads on specific content. And so here's what people don't realize. Like, so if I advertise Grove Street FM app, right, I can't advertise that in Google Ads anymore because they're saying that the streaming content in it is copyrighted, right? So then on the other side, I have a client who they provide internet access, right, which is a competitor of Comcast. And Comcast owns the ad back end for the whole area, basically. So we can't run a commercial for that company on Comcast. So we have to get creative. So again, each client has a specific approach that you have to take. And that's why it's like once you kind of find your good marketing relationship or business, and that can go with any form of business. Yeah, it's just a customized approach, and no template works. Honestly, you really can't.
You got to be open. Nothing, because sometimes, and we even tell there's a big not a marketing like class we do in Conquer, but marketing ideas, and there's things you have to do if digital's not working. Like now, it's getting so hard. Cold calling, you know, boots on the ground, like door hangers, business cards, yard signs. So you can't just market digitally anymore. In your area, if you're targeting an area, you need to be out there meeting people.
And the thing, you got to be careful too, because especially on TikTok and Reels, you see all this messaging. And I've seen lately where these social media content coaches are advocating posting like 21 times a day on Facebook and 7 times a day on Instagram. And I'm telling you,
that's too much.
That is way too much. And what happens is you lose your messaging because people cannot consume that. They do not want to hear from Woody 30 sometimes a day like that. I'm telling you right now, nobody wants to hear that. So it's like, you have to be very careful about what the trend you hear. And that's why it's really good to have a marketing person, because they can kind of be like, well, listen, we don't need 57 TikToks this week. Like that doesn't help your core business.
Book out the week. Because now if you have a marketing person, you can look at the week or the month and you can book out certain messages per week and automatically have them set to go out so that same message is hitting for a couple of days.
And be intentional about your messaging. Like, you can have fun, don't get me wrong, but I know of a lot of businesses in the area that had a little too much fun in their commercials and stuff, and it's sort of a turnoff for.
It actually was, backfired.
It went the other way. You got to find that middle ground about being creative and cheesy, but not like, oh my God, roll your eyes. And again, there's a balance in the content too. Like, you want to put enough out there, but you want to keep it professional and you want to make it consumable, because now you can post on Instagram and then people like your pictures 2 days later. They're not seeing it the same day. So it's like it's
getting filtered later. I've had people like pictures from 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Or a post. I'm like, how do they find it? There's no way they're scrolling through just your profile.
I posted that.
Yeah. So good info. Hope that helps a lot of businesses around. If you're looking for some marketing ideas, look up Watts Creative Studios. The Grove Street FM, Watts Creative Studios. Make sure you download the app. But
except if you're a HVAC company.
except for your HVAC, I'm the only. I'm the primary. So if
I'm exclusive.
He's exclusive, but yeah, hit him up. Good for even websites. Check out our new website. Woody's updated and taken over. It looks amazing.
Thank you.
BrownsHeatingAir.com.
Yep.
Look at our membership page. Look at all about our pictures and things, so you can, see what we do and to me, what a website should look like and flow, so it's not very cluttered and confusing, and it just runs smooth. We've got some cool ideas and things coming out that for Brown's Heating and Air soon that we'll be announcing and presenting and working on some new commercials and documentary. Hopefully this year will be.
Yes, we got to talk about.
We got to talk about that.
That's on my list.
How that'll work, and. I think that's a cool idea. Just hopefully people will watch.
Yep.
I think it will. We can make some good good video.
If they don't, we'll throw Bigfoot in it.
Yeah. I'll call the Amorites. Yeah.
The Amorites will watch it.
Yeah, they're gonna watch. Don't you worry. They're watching. So we have to have it
on their shirt,
closed captions, so they can know what I'm saying in case it's a different
language. They
language.
don't care. They just love anything Brandon says. So it doesn't really matter.
Ranked number 1 still in the Amorites. So hey, thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week. Have a happy week.